Hey, hey, hey. How are you ladies this evening? Selena, No Filter, Shalima, and Roger Brown. Hi, Angie. I don't know who Roger Brown is, and I don't know why he thinks I live an hour from Tennessee. Does anybody have a clue? Corliss, hello. Is that any kin to Angie? Hello, Melissa. I'm glad you enjoyed last night. And I'm pretty sure that I may have figured out a technicality so we can continue doing it. No, Ken? Okay. Hi, Channel Surfer. Hello, Miss Cristola. Are you okay? Okay, just checking. So everybody's doing okay? Has anybody had a chance to check out that hello, Rose Carter? I guess I should be putting this stuff up on the screen, huh? Sorry, didn't make. Oh, it's okay, sweetheart. I understand. Trust me. Ask Jen. I've been last few days. I've had a severe headache. Hello, Rose from Liverpool. Welcome. We hope you stick around, sweetheart. We really enjoy having lots of new people in here. Did anybody get a chance to check out the video that I put out earlier? Thank you, ladies. I have found out after I put the video out, I went in and started looking some more. Hello, Red Midla. I believe that's the correct way to say that. Do you all realize there is, let's see, in Rogersville, the population in Rogersville is 4,437. Now, this was took back in 2019. And at this time now, I believe it's at present day, there is ROs in Rogersville is 56. Now, keep that number in your mind, guys, because in Hawkins County, as of right now, there's 146 ROs in Hawkins County. Now realize there is 7 different towns or cities, however you want to call it, in Hawkins County. That's Rogersville, just the different ones, Bulls Gap, just different places. Okay, there's 7 of them. If you take Rogersville, which is just one town, and it's 56 ROs, that only leaves 90 for the other 6 towns in Hawkins County. Is that unbelievable? There's over a third of the ROs that are in Hawkins County are located in Rogersville itself. That's unbelievable. You have 3 pages of them. That is a huge number. It really is. Thank you, Cristola. I mean, I'm sorry, especially for that pediatrician. And I was told today, allegedly, that pediatrician that's on the thumbnail and that I was speaking of in the video, That is the same pediatrician that supposedly donated that $10,000 back in 2016 for the Carly Trent reward when she was missing. He supposedly, allegedly, donated $10,000 for her reward fund to find her. And then what, 2 years later, a year later, whenever it was, he was literally charged for having 2 minors in his home that I do not believe was his children. They were just 2 boys, and they were in his home, and he did what he did to them. This is a doctor, a pediatrician that's supposed to take care of your children. What, like I said in the time, is there signs or ads out there somewhere, guys, that we don't know about that's advertising for all these creeps to come live in Rogersville? I mean, do they advertise? Do they pay them to come and live there? Something's got to give. That sheriff, that law enforcement in Rogersville, in Hawkins County, needs to do something about these people. Obviously, this has been going on. I looked back, this has been going on since 2002. And in 2002, do you know who the sheriff was back then? It was Ronnie Lawson's father, who had been sheriff for years without anybody running against him. And between him leaving office and Ronnie Lawson taking office, there was one dude in that office. And I don't know how long a sheriff's term is, but he only did like half of the term and met his demise early, supposedly, allegedly, from his own hands. And then Ronnie Lawson steps into the sheriff's position. Hi, April. Anybody that I didn't catch or didn't say hello to, I'm sorry. Hello, everybody. This just really is burning me up. Hello, Lupus. I just cannot believe there's so many. I literally went to look today at the headlines of all the criminals. I wasn't looking for a specific type of criminal. I just know that every other day, if not every day, I open up looking online, there's another headline about another criminal, another thing that's happened, another offense that's taken place in Hawkins County. And 9 times out of 10, it's in Rogersville. And that's what I was looking for, because that's what I was planning on talking about. But it went one step deeper, because when I opened it up and started looking at that stuff, what do I find? All these ROs or RSOs or CSOs or SAs or whatever acronym you want to put on them. If they have an acronym beside their damn name, they live in Rogersville. Guarantee it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be yelling. It's just, this is really making me mad. I mean, what is really going on in that town? I'm not saying Don and Candace ain't responsible for what happened to that baby. But how much bigger is it in that whole town? I mean, how many kids have been hurt just in the last year? If somebody can come up with a number for me, I don't know what I'd do. I'd do something for you. These kids are being hurt. These kids are being destroyed. Their mental stability, their souls are being taken from them, from these monsters that are living in Rogersville. And I would like to know why something is not being done about these monsters. How can it have been going on for this long a period? And not, like somebody else said earlier, why didn't they send in the National Guard? If they cannot get rid of these animals, these monsters, and they continue to harm these children and take these children's lives, if law enforcement can't do anything about it, why haven't they sent in the National Guard to do something? Forget TBI, forget FBI. Send in the National Guard and do something. Lock them all up. I mean, come on, they're hurting kids on a daily damn basis down there. And for the top of the list, it's a damn pediatrician. Jeez. I'm sorry. Would anybody like to come up? Don't mean to just go off on a dang rant. It just makes me so mad that these babies are being hurt. And this county, this law enforcement, nobody is doing a dang thing about it. Nothing. It's like they don't care. It's like it's a huge business that's going on in Hawkins County or Rogersville, and that's all they care about is the money that it's making. I dropped the link if somebody would care to come up. Hello, Maria. Hello, Scott. I did see you come in. Hello. Am I wrong for being so agitated, folks? I mean, in my opinion, there is something going on in that county. For that to be that, it's just a nonchalant thing that happens every day, evidently. Sorry, I'm not putting anything up on. If you look at a lot of their addresses in Hawkins County Jail, they have no home address. Well, honey, the ones that I looked up today, every one of them live in Rogersville and have Rogersville addresses. That really, really just infuriates me. Hello, Sky Purple. I mean, why hasn't law enforcement? If not law enforcement, why hasn't somebody else stepped in and done something? Scott or anybody going on panel, please show your face. Thank you, Christola. Hi, Heidi. Does anyone know just how long this doctor was allowed to work there, where he came from? Evidently, he was a native of Rogersville. He lived in Rogersville and he practiced in Rogersville. Scott, if you know any different, would you let us know? Wow. Do you know how long did he live in Rogersville? Is he from there? Yeah, Scott, you're more than welcome to come up. I mean, I had no clue myself. I really had no clue. This is ridiculous. And my main thing is, like I said, maybe Dawn and Candace, I'm not saying they didn't have anything to do with their baby. They probably did. But was it part of a bigger picture? How many kids in Rogersville is going through this? And did something actually happen that didn't happen to the rest of the kids that's being used or sold or whatever? Did something specific happen to Summer when it wasn't supposed to have? You know, we all started from the beginning thinking that the shed had a big part in it and what was being done down there. Is that what's going on with all of these kids? I'm sorry, guys. I don't mean to. You need Don B. Well, Don B said Don B's supposed to make an appearance. He's not coming up on panel, but he said that I should let Yins know because I guess he figures you would ask. He says he figures that the reason nobody is coming in and done anything to try to clean the place up is because they're afraid for their life. Not always tries to be aware of everyone's feelings on sensitive subjects. We care, so please don't feel obligated to participate in this sensitive. Yes, thank you. Yeah, he's a man that donated money, allegedly donated money to the Carly Trent Reward Fund when she was missing, which I still think was sketchy in itself. I'm sorry. I think there was more to that than what's being said. Like I said, when I was doing digging today, this crap has been going back all the way back to 2002. And who was the sheriff back then? Ronnie Lawson's daddy. And nothing was being done about it back then either. I don't know, honey. I don't know why. I don't know why they don't dig any deeper. Right. They're scared to go take care of the problem. That's what I'm saying. I don't see why they don't take and send in the National Guard, if nothing else. If TBI and FBI and all them don't feel like that they can handle the situation, or that they don't have time to go take care of this small community, why don't they just send in the darn National Guard? That's what they're for. They're for emergencies or taking care of problems like this. Well, not specifically like this, but you understand what I'm saying. This is not good at all. All about all the kids coming up missing. This is so sad. Yes, it is. When you have a town that's been run for what sounds like a decade. No, honey, we're talking more along the lines of 40 years. Like a decade. No, honey, Is that you, Scott?
It is.
You're white and red, not black and red. What happened?
Well, I'm going to have to go through, and I had to relog back onto StreamYard.
Yeah.
I had to do some updates on my computer.
Oh, okay.
And it wiped out it's still there, but it just set a lot of stuff back. Like I've got to re-enter all my passwords where I did have them on saved and all that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, it just struck me that maybe somebody was trying to imitate your symbol or whatever. That's why I was saying that.
Right. I might be able to fix it. Well, I'll have to fix it here in a minute. Well, hang on. I didn't watch your edit audio avatar. There we go. I can change it to black. I didn't watch your stream earlier, but I'd covered this before. So I don't know what all you've discussed, previously in your article or on your show. But if you dig on this guy, there is a lot of stuff. Like he was the physical therapy coach for the high school football team.
Oh, wow. And he boys.
What all did you cover? The SO part with the young boys?
Yes.
Okay. He was the pediatrician for the town. He also got arrested for showing up drunk at a high school football game. I went and looked at his reviews on a couple of websites, and the parents would say when they would show up at his doctor's office, that his fingernails would be like all scraggly, rough, not like nicely clipped, and have dirt under his nails and stuff. And this is, people that, they're taking care of their kids.
Right.
And they said one couple was talking about they were on the way home and they ran into him, and he was in oncoming traffic. He was headed one way or they were headed the other. And apparently he got a case of the road rage and turned around and chased them into a parking lot or something like that, and ended up throwing half a bottle of vodka at them, screaming and yelling and acting like a fool. So this guy's, when you were reading about the article there, he was taking care of single women, and not putting down women or nothing, but, the way I took it is vulnerable single women.
Right.
That were single parents, single, mothers or whatever. And having, and keep in mind, he didn't have any kids of his own.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wasn't married or didn't have any kids of his own, but yet he would make these women feel safe. Abuse of an authority figure is basically what it was.
Right.
And then have their early teen, well, I think one of them was 12, over to his house for sleepovers. Now, what kind of business has anybody got doing that?
Exactly. Well, they said sleepover. That's why I assumed he had his own children, but I assumed that they weren't his children. Because
Right.
they were there for a sleepover. So, yeah, that
Then,
makes it all the more creepier.
then come to find out he was writing fraudulent prescriptions for a drug that they use for ADHD. I believe it was ADHD. When they went to court, though, they had changed it in the court paperwork to a drug with a lower offense.
Right.
That was used for something else so that he wouldn't get charged as heavily.
It was probably Ritalin to begin with, and they changed it to Adderall.
Well, now they changed it to something. I would have to go back to my show and look to get the facts for sure. But that's what I was telling Christola, that if you kept digging, there's more, way more.
Right.
But it was something that came up to like some kind of like thyroid medicine or something that's not known to have any street value or abuse that you can abuse, where the one that he actually was prescribing for could be abused.
Right.
To get high on and everything. Then I had some help behind the scenes. He actually practiced medicine for 2 more years before the American Medical Association pulled his medical license.
So they did finally pull his medical license.
2 years after the fact, but yeah, they did. Well, and I showed in my stream there when I covered it, I showed the screenshot of the actual document where they finally jerked it, and you could compare dates from, when he was charged with those offenses to the date where the actual official document said that it was pulled, and it was like 2 years.
It's still unreal. I mean,
it's just unbelievable,
Yeah, it is.
Unbelievable. Just think how many kids went to visit
that doctor and that he saw in the high school also.
Right, exactly. How many fingers that man had, how many kids that man had his grimy little gross fingers on, and I don't know.
I agree. Well, but you have to consider that there's a possibility there was money exchanging hands when those kids were spending the night with him. I mean, there's a possibility that parents were getting money.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. And Aurora there in chat, she had mentioned that the more that I dug, and I believe this is the guy because I've covered so much of the corruption down there, but I believe Aurora was right that this was the one that, I don't know if Ronnie Lawson did it himself, but I know the district attorney and the judge, and of course Ronnie Lawson had to have been involved in some capacity. The sentence that he got was reduced substantially, so he didn't have to serve near just a drop in the bucket of time compared to what he should have based upon the things that he was charged for.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask you about. How could he have only gotten 6 months behind bars? It says he got 8 years, but he didn't really get 8 years. He got 8 years probation.
Correct. But he was supposed to have 8 years, and then they knocked it down to serving only the 6 months or whatever you said. I'll take your word at it. But I think that 180 days, I think that actually got dropped down to 140 is all he ended up serving, if I remember correctly. Again, like I said, dude, if you dig and find it yourself, to get all the numbers and dates. Like I said, it's been a while since I've went over this stuff, but it's just unbelievable. And that's when I started digging into the district attorney and the judge.
Right.
Because I was like, well, apparently, it's not just Don Wells that's getting, a little smack on the wrist from the kindergarten teacher.
Right. You're breaking up pretty bad, Scott.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. We've been able to understand you up until this point, but.
Okay. You want me to drop off and come back?
No.
Okay.
I was just letting you know in case you don't want to adjust your mic or whatever.
Okay.
It's just unreal. Has there been any other doctors or lawyers or anything? I know in Hawkins County when that big Coca-Cola bust was a few years back, there was judges and lawyers and doctors and pediatricians and everybody involved in it.
Well, nothing that surprises me.
It's unreal.
When it comes to anything down there. I mean, have you studied up on the constable yet? The 2-time convicted felon that's got reelected on a paper ballot for constable down there. Have you studied up on him?
No, I seen it the other day. I was reading up on it a little bit, but I haven't actually dove into it. But I promise you, I'm planning on starting to dig into this because to me, yeah, on all honesty, and maybe I'm just being overboard. I'm just being a protective mother, grandmother, whatever. But I'm telling you, something is not right that this whole entire town are having problems taking care of their children in the proper manner.
100%.
I mean, it's got to be a business. It has to be.
Yeah. It's I mean, there's been so many things. I mean, it's the can't remember if she was the county clerk or she was something, the bookkeeper over the Churchill Rescue Squad and the volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
Was spent them dry, spent all their petty cash and bought her all kinds of stuff on their credit cards and stuff. That was the fire department and the rescue squad was supposed to be using, but she was buying stuff and buying her groceries and paying her bills with it. And they had it rigged up to where she was the only one. They didn't like the checks for them.
Yeah.
She was the only one. You only had to have one authorized, signature. One person authorized to sign the check, and it was her.
Wow.
So she was able to spend, I think it was something like $40,000. Again, you'll have to dig on your own and find the articles. They're out there.
I think it was like 100.
But it was crazy. I mean, it's just like every one of them is. I mean, you look at one or two of them and you see that they're crooked. The only thing that you can think is there's got to be a whole lot more crooked because somebody is allowing the crookedness to go on. And then when the crookedness gets caught, they're not getting penalized for it, or if they are, it's very, very minimal penalization. I don't know if we froze, if you dropped, or if we're muted.
Sorry, guys.
There, you're back.
Yeah, something happened. The internet flipped off for a minute.
Okay. Is my sound any better?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good. I know what it's like to have guests up and their stuff isn't working good. It's hard to have a good flow. I think you might have went out again. So I think she might be having to go back out and come back in.
I'm coming back in, guys.
Hey, everybody in chat. When Evil entered, hello. Pamela Tate, hey there. Aurora, hello. No filter, single mom of 4. Oh, so Nana's been having difficulties today with, yeah, those happen sometimes.
Well, I'm sorry, guys.
Do you let me try jumping down? Because I wasn't originally planning on coming on panel or doing a live or anything.
Yeah.
I just wanted to help you out there on that little bit, but it sounds like you've got it covered, and just keep digging on in there.
Okay,
You're doing great. Just keep digging in, but I'll drop down. That'll free up some of your bandwidth there.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. Okay, guys. Hopefully, is it sounding any better? Can y'all hear me? Anyways, okay. Thanks, Leland. Really, guys, I really do plan on looking into this because it's unreal. I mean, if any of you all know anything else other than what Scott's already told us, I would greatly appreciate to have the information, because I plan on really, really trying to get something done. There's no way that this many children should be being harmed in one particular town. I watched a Dateline on a woman named Marcia, and she went missing. Husband's the prime suspect, and TBI just dropped the case. There's something very shady in Hawkins County. Are they from Hawkins County, Carlina? I don't know. I don't even know what to say. It just blew my mind, because every time I looked at a new page on the internet today concerning Hawkins County or Rogersville, there was another face of another RO or another RSO or another SA, or however you want to categorize them. It was always just like that woman. She didn't SA her child, but she harmed him physically, and then he wound up, she did away with him. 8 months old. How can you harm an 8-month-old baby? What in this town have ads come in and live and raise there, bred to be this way? Is it after general to be this way? But I to the county like Sullivan, all those. shot for my son's breaking up again. What going on with this internet, guys? But the thing is, most of it years and years keeps me from coming. Like no, and if there's or lawyers or law enforcement officers involved in this kind of stuff, you have the pediatrician. That what else do you have down? If I'm breaking up, something's not working today, guys. We'll try this, guys. Sorry about that. I'm seeing if I can do my hotspot and see if it'll work a bit. Create a new, guys.